one property transaction in less than 5 months, generating in the region of £800,000 profit. Have you guessed it? We're talking about the big property money strategy, commercial conversions, and we have got two incredible of our top graduates here today. We've got Claire and we've got Rob.
Hello.
Welcome into the studio.
Thank you.
Wow, it has been an incredible few months, and we're going to do a deep dive on your first commercial deal. We're going to look at how you found it, how you funded it, are you going to flip it, are you going to keep it, and we're going to talk all things property and ups and downs and challenges, because there's people tuning in now that really want to start, scale and grow property portfolios, but they're not too sure where to start.
Yeah.
So look, take us back to the beginning. When did you make a decision that you wanted to become property investors, and what made you make that decision as well?
Well, I suppose it goes back to round about the start of the new year, when we really started sort of looking at our situation, where we were in life, getting into our 50s now. So we're starting to think, okay, we're not that close to retirement, but we're getting that way. And we started looking at our pensions, things, investments, and we're going like, actually, we need to do something a little bit more, because this is not going to really give us the end, what we want to do, what we want to retire with, and where we want to be. So,
So you started really looking into your future wanting a better quality life. So what were you doing before?
So I'm self-employed.
Okay.
Business transformation.
All right.
26 years in.
Nice.
Painful. Which is why I just, you've done it for so long, and I love it. It's great. I love the people, but we want to do it for ourselves. We're working so hard. We want to work hard for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you're working for other people, but really sort of, working in it, not on it.
In it, on it, yeah.
And you wanted to build something for your own futures.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you decided to do property, was it originally to do commercial conversions, or what was your what was your outlook?
Our outlook was, we thought, let's go into flipping properties. It seemed the easiest strategy out of all the strategies out there, because there's so many, and we were like, oh my God, we're kind of abundance of ideas coming. And we thought maybe 1 or 2 a year, get 30, 40, maybe 50k out of a flip. And then we saw these two chaps on Facebook, hard hats on, obviously yourself and the Mr. Mark Stokes, and it just showed us that, or we got the feeling of maybe a little bit more effort, but the same amount of effort, conversations that you have to buy a property and purchase, we can go and do something different for a little bit more money, and something that's probably more exciting. So that's kind of why we then very quickly came to the 3-day boot camp at Asset for Life Commercial Conversions, and here we are today.
Great. And that's obviously really run by my great business partner, Mark Stokes.
Yeah.
Me and Mark have been partners in some description for pretty much a decade now.
Yeah.
I actually did my first commercial conversion with Mark as a joint venture partner, and then a few years back we said, look, why don't we take our years of experience and create what has become the UK's best commercial conversion training and mentorship program. And it's just wonderful that you guys saw the advert, came to the, was it like a free online event you came to?
it was...
Well, we did the online event,
we did,
which then even sucked us in even more, and then we went to the 3-day boot
3
camp.
days, great.
And even that boot camp, it was game changer.
Really?
Absolute game changer.
What was it about the 3 days that moved the needle for you the most?
Probably gave us the confidence to actually think, we could do this with the right people around you, the right information, the right education. Actually feel very confident that we could do this.
Yeah, there were two real key things we took from, we took a lot from those 3 days, but 2 real key things. One was your power team.
Okay.
And we thought, actually, what is the power team? You really didn't understand it.
You hear about it, but what is it?
And we were just like, actually, and then when we started to think about it, some of the conversations we were already having outside, we thought, are they actually included as power team? And then we realised they are, because he's our quantity surveyor and contractor, manager, etc. And then, again, there was something that Mark said. There are 3 really important setups here, and it's structure, structure.
And that stuck with us.
And that stuck with us, and that's
From day
everything
one.
that we go by. We're very structured in
Yeah,
everything
great.
that we
Yeah.
approach now because of that.
And because of
So-
these bigger,
No,
because
go
of
for
these bigger projects, we feel that you need to have that team around
Yeah.
you, and then we can they are then our people that do the work, and we are
Yeah.
And I think it's a really key point, because what holds a lot of new and existing property investors back from, let's just say, getting in the world of commercial conversion is they think they've got to do all the work themselves,
Yeah.
or they've got to have years of experience
Yeah.
in construction or mechanics, or be a funder, and actually you don't need to be any of those things. Am I right in saying that you can literally come in, even as a brand new property investor like you guys
Absolutely.
have done, and
Absolutely.
start from scratch?
They give you the credibility.
Yeah.
So again, if you're scared, don't be. Get your power team. They give you that credibility because they've already got their portfolio. They've already got the contacts. And when you say, "Oh, I don't know where to start with," even thinking about how we approach the planning department, don't worry about that. Your architects say, "You haven't got to worry about that. I've got that relationship, and this is just brilliant."
Great.
We're just the facilitators.
They just
it's
take all the
like
hard work.
You're
excellent.
just, so
Who
what,
knew?
what do you guys down there? Obviously, you've got your power team, and just so we're clear, we're talking like solicitors, architects, planning consultants, QSs,
Yeah, accountants, very
accountants,
key.
tax advisor.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
what we broker, development
Yeah.
funder. This is what we mean about having a good power team,
Yeah.
right?
Deal sources, that kind of. Yeah.
So what do you do to maintain and now develop those relationships?
We have a weekly meeting with our architect and our contractor,
Great,
so that we keep up to date on where we
Yeah.
are and progress on the offers that we're trying to pull together.
nice.
We've got a really good relationship with obviously Mark and Nigel, because they help us with the offers and how we're going to structure those, putting those forward. And what we've also done in kind of keep creating and building on those relationships, we facilitate the shires, what we call it, networking locally for all property related conversations.
Yeah.
So we've got about 21 people party to that.
That's
And every
really
time
good.
we meet, we take part of our power team with us,
Great.
so that then they can start to build relationships, and hopefully we can see that grow as well. So it helps give trust to our power team that we're looking out for them, and
Fantastic.
we're serious
so
about what we're doing.
having great conversations,
yeah.
being yourself,
yeah.
regular communication.
Yeah.
Great. So you came to the 3 days. It sounded like the needle just shifted at those 3 days.
Oh, massively.
So was there a moment where you were like, right, no more flips, we're just going to go straight in and do a bigger deal? And in that moment, like, how did that conversation go down? How did it make you feel?
It just we knew we was in the right place.
Okay.
We knew we had Mark that had all those years of experience. What he doesn't know, you don't need to know.
Yeah.
And it gave us the confidence to start looking at these bigger deals, because if you structure it right and you've got all your figures are right, so that's where obviously Nigel comes in, because he's great at that. We got these that we can take these deals to, so even though they look good on paper,
Yeah.
sometimes they just don't stack up. So it's having the
Yeah.
confidence
Yeah.
to know it's a great deal, the figures stack up, you know what you're going to offer on it,
Yeah.
and you go confident in those deals.
But that came to us on day one, to be
Wow.
honest.
It was,
Midway
yeah.
through day one,
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
thought the connection of what Mark was talking about versus our vision, it was there. That was
It's
it.
almost
We
like
were
the
sold.
pieces of the puzzle just
Yeah.
all slotted
Yeah.
together, like at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is why we do encourage people, come and hang out with us. Get yourself onto one of the advanced trainings.
Exactly.
And if it's not for you, well, it's 3 days of your life.
Yeah.
But it could be 3 days
Yeah.
that takes you down a completely different path.
But you can't do this without that education.
Yeah.
No.
Is that why you decided to go top level elite client
Yeah.
in the Commercial Conversion Academy? Because that's a £25,000 investment. Some would say, "What are you
What are
doing?
we
It's
doing?"
crazy."
A lot have said, "What are we doing?"
You're
Yeah.
nuts,
Not
right?
gonna lie.
A lot of our friends, we
Oh,
haven't told
mad.
them that,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
knew we were doing the right thing,
Yeah.
because we knew
we,
that was just...
Why did you make that decision? Because it's an investment in yourself. It's not a small
Yeah.
amount of money, but
Yeah.
we're not talking hundreds of thousands. What was it for you that really helped you make that decision?
When we're in.
Yeah.
So what we learned just on that first day of that boot camp, wasn't it? We just said, right, we're going to do this, but we're going to be serious about it. And at that point, we had no idea about the different levels that we could go in at. And we didn't hesitate, even when that was all displayed up and we went to have the one-to-ones in the rooms at the back. We just said, no, we'll go for it, because we know that what we're going to get out of that is going to outweigh what is coming our way in the future, and it's already paying off.
Wow, brilliant.
Already paying off.
Didn't have to have that awkward conversation with the
You were
partner.
both on the
Because
same
we're both
page.
in. We was going like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great that you're both on the same page, and of course some people, they have resistance from partners, and
Yeah.
you know, people have to make decisions for themselves. But you know, you made the decision. You joined the Commercial Conversion Academy. What did the academy do for you in those initial sort of 3 or 4 weeks that you believe just helped you get out there and start having the right conversations?
Confidence again, really, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And confidence that we know actually what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because we are quite surprised how quickly we're learning, and I think that's just because of what we both do from a work perspective.
Yeah.
You know, me transformation, you have to go in somewhere, learn very quickly about the business and crack on and get on with it. And then you with the kind of work that you're in, and it was, you know, that of a drop of the hat we can just either ask for a one-to-one, or you go on the WhatsApp, ask a question, the response comes back.
Great. So
Yeah.
you felt
So-
really supported.
Yes, you've
Oh,
got a
100%.
constant kind of somebody there holding your hand. It just
Yeah.
feels like they're
Nice,
behind
that's
us, which is really good. The support is phenomenal.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you joined, cracking on, lots of support. Let's get into this deal. Okay, so let's look at that. We're going to look at how you found the deal. We're going to talk about funding on the deal, and then we're going to talk about what are you looking to do at the end. Are you looking to fill it, or are you looking to flip it? And we're going to talk about you know, the differences between the two. So how did you go and find this incredible first deal?
Well, it's local to us anyway, isn't it? In kind of the Oxfordshire space. But actually it's through the builder, our contractor.
Yeah.
He knew of it. And we then saw it. You were going, we're doing it. It was
I
like,
love this, yeah.
Oh, are we, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing this by the seams.
So what did you do? You got a site viewing. You was introduced to the owner. Was it a current business? Had it closed down? You know, give us a
Well,
bit more.
we was actually looking at another property at that point.
Right.
So we was looking at so very close to us in our village, there was a sort of a
A
derelict
derelict house.
sort of
yeah.
bungalow where we could see the vision of we could lower that and we could put 2 houses in that space. So we got introduced to the builder through that, and through the sort of vision and what we were trying to do. He was really interested in what we were doing at the time and what we're looking to do, and he thought, actually,
He said,
I
"I've got
might have
for you."
something you'd be interested in.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
So he actually brought it to the table. So he said, "Would you mind coming?" So that was probably early week, and then a couple of days. Said, "Would you
come
like
and
to
have a
come down and have a look?" Yeah, why not?
Great, wow,
I mean,
brilliant.
at that point, we didn't know anything about figures or anything or what the story was behind that.
Yeah.
So we was intrigued.
we went
you
along.
You know, a funeral home.
Well, you say yes, right? Go and have a
Oh,
look.
absolutely,
Of course,
because
there's
you
no
just don't know
harm.
where it's going to go.
Yeah.
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 So then he took us and showed us around, and so it's been empty, I'd say, a good number of years now. Partners have kind of separated, as in business partners are separated, and so they're selling off the property. And it's not only grade 2 listed, but it's got a blue plaque as well. So
Oh my
So it's
We
quite-
haven't
yeah,
gone
they
in.
haven't got in.
Challenges
no
here, isn't
permitted
there?
development, no none of that. You know,
Oh
your
no,
first
what are we
deal,
doing?
again, like, you know.
Okay, well, that's a reason why it's probably sat empty for a couple
Absolutely.
of years, because
Yeah.
the average developer or people that don't have the
Yeah.
confidence are
Yeah.
just going to run a mile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell us more. This
But
is
then,
interesting.
Again, I'm just saying, Ryan, he's phenomenal. He's very, very good, and he's got so much knowledge in that area, and the builders, the
Contacts.
planners, and
Yeah.
everybody, and his relationship with Heritage as well has
Okay.
obviously overcome a lot of
Who's
the
this,
hurdles.
the builder?
Yeah.
The builder,
okay,
yeah,
great.
our contractor chap, and he so he had all the Heritage on board and in there, the planners in there and everything, and so the pre-application was just a sell through, absolute
Great.
sell
Went
through
all the way
because of
through.
that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we then negotiated through him to the vendor. So actually, we've only actually recently, probably in the last month, been in contact with the vendor, but we're now very chatty, and the vendor's
Yeah.
brilliant, absolutely. They're local people as well. And we started at a certain price, and we are now down to something very different, just so that we can help them get to their new venture that they want to do, to be able to release the money quicker for them.
Great. So they're
it's-
quite
Yeah.
highly motivated.
yeah,
To-
for their
to
own
now-
reasons,
to
and
now
we can
let
understand
go.
that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I mean, the story started with Ryan because obviously it'd been empty for so many years. The partners had fallen out in the business of the funeral. business, and they wanted to move on and create their new funeral home in another place. So they've become a motivated seller through the fact that they've got this asset, but nothing's moving on it. So they become very motivated to sell.
Yeah.
So it never made the market. It was offered to Ryan, and then we sort of come in, and they could never really sort of work something through them. So through our knowledge, through what we learned on the commercial conversion, we said, well, why don't you offer this? We can offer like a lease option. So that could, we could release that, so we can do that, and we can start the process
and then
on that.
we paid them at exit, and they agreed to that to start with, and they slept on it over the weekend, didn't they? Yeah. And before long, we then got a completely different deal. And
they came back and said, "How do you think about this deal? Because we need to get money at the beginning."
Your hands now, so you're much happier with buying the asset at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they, I take it, reduced the asking price just
so they can get some early funds, because they've got an idea of the funds that they need to then go into their new business. They said, if you can give this at the beginning, then we've got a deal at this price. So this is where we've come down, and it's from what it's worth to where we are now.
Yeah, and they say we always make money when we buy, right?
Yeah.
So getting at the right price and not, taking your time and having the conversations, because we can all get, we just want it done yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Great. So you're locked in the deal. Absolutely incredible. And how is the deal being funded? How's the deal being funded?
Private capital.
Private capital. Okay. And are you using any type of development finance to do the conversion?
We will do.
You will do. So it's part private capital plus development funding to then go in and get this built. Yeah. And how did you go about starting the process of getting your development funding?
We have to touch ourselves, it's just unbelievable. But I was talking to a broker about the original flip we were talking about, and whilst he was working some figures out in the background, he said, just tell me a bit more about Grasshopper Property. So I did, and he said, I think there's somebody that I'd like to introduce you to. Anyway, long story short, we then had some conversations with an investor, and he just liked who we are and what we're doing. And we've managed to sign contracts to get some private capital.
Wow.
Of which we won't use all on this deal, because
we don't want to tie it all up in one deal. That's what we've learned. Sort of leverage the money, so you use developer finance and your capital, and then you can sort of squeeze that into.
Just keep going with your pipeline then. So it's opened a lot of doors for our pipeline. Which we're very fortunate on.
Great. So you've raised private funding from an investor that can be used on a number of different projects.
Yeah.
Chances are, when you do the first or two deals with them, they're going to want to continue to do business with you. You don't actually need that many investors.
No.
To do. Obviously, you need good investors, and depending on how much you need to raise. How did that feel for you guys when you locked that first investor in? Because that's a game changer.
Big move.
Have you celebrated yet?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Not quite yet. We want the monies to actually hit the account.
Yes.
Because we don't need them right now, you see. We don't need them until we really start the full on going for it. So we're kind of holding back a little bit. But we're ready to celebrate, believe me. But it started again. So from February, we thought we'd do some flips. We got in front of 800 people on stage, delivered a deal. 2 weeks later, 2 people that were sat in the audience contacted us to say they're interested in investing with us, and we're like, oh my goodness, this is just mad. And that was just for small numbers, and then we are where we are today. So again, we had to pinch ourselves and say, has this really happened?
Well, the thing that you're doing is that you are having the conversations. And you're out there making waves, talking to people, networking. You turn up for sessions, you tap into Mark, you tap into Nigel, you're doing a deal analysis, you're in the portal, you're doing the steps necessary. And this is what we say to people: if you do the steps, of course there's ups and downs, you will have your breakthroughs. You will, and you believe in yourself, right? You've got that confidence. You believe in yourself. You're out there doing this stuff.
Oh, don't get us wrong. It's hard work.
Right.
I mean, we are exhausted, and don't be afraid of hard work. Otherwise, it's not going to work. But we are exhausted.
I mean, we both work full time, and we, in the mornings we're on calls catching up with people, and in the evenings we're doing work.
So
So what would you say to someone listening to this now that is also tired, working a lot of hours, and they're using time as an excuse as to why they can't go and do something like this. What would you like to say to those sorts of people?
I would say you can't use time as an excuse.
Yeah.
If we can find time, both doing the kind of demanding full-time jobs that we do today and have family and friends and social and everything around you, some of that just has to give for a little bit because you're building for your future, and just stop procrastinating, just get on with it.
I suppose it helps. We're doing it together. So when one of us needs picking up, then we sort of drive each other. So that really helps us as well.
Well, I think I drive you mad. I don't know about driving, but yeah.
And if we look at the Commercial Conversion Academy, we've got some great people in that academy.
Yeah.
We look at Assets for Life. You guys were at the birthday weekend, 10 years, networking, talking. How has the community supported you through this process as well?
Oh, brilliant. I mean, again, obviously the main community we go through is the commercial conversions, but then we met so many people at the birthday weekend.
Great weekend.
Of which, I'm very good at keeping a network going and keeping kind of people on board and up to date in what we're doing anyway. Even in just personal life, I've always been really good at that kind of thing. So, and they're all responding and they're all recognising what we're doing, and a lot of them are then coming forward and asking for our advice, not on property, just more mindset stuff.
Yeah.
How have you kept going? How have you managed to do this? And so we can't give any advice just yet on how to manage your taxes and all that kind of stuff. We'll leave that to our power team. But to help just get people out of that headspace of, God, we can't make that first step, we're just too scared to do that. We get a lot of people referred to us, actually, don't we?
I mean, we went through that bit with the overwhelm of all the different strategies. What do we do? What do we stick on? What are we doing? But what was really good about the commercial conversion, that really, once we started listening to that and getting the information and the education through that, it was going like, we know where we want to go now.
Great.
Really
I think it's important, isn't it, to have the clarity. People spend a year or two just going around a washing machine, rent to rent, deal packaging, single lets, buy to lets, and I get you have to have an understanding, but you just got to make a decision. Yeah. And if you'd made a decision to do flips, guess what? You'd be doing some great flips. Yeah. Whatever decision you make, with the right mentoring and community and having the relationships, it's possible. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I want to say to people. Just make a decision of some description, get a deal under your belt, build your confidence, and then you can always diversify later, can't you?
Because we're already thinking about what then comes next. Like when we get a number of units, a bit like you were saying about the funeral home, what are we going to do? We'll probably sell a couple off, but retain the rest as an asset, refinance back out, get the profit, pay the investor and all that kind of stuff. And then, but what we want to do is think about, well, when we've got a number of units, do we then bring our own management company in rather than paying a management company? So we're also thinking kind of a number of years ahead so that we can gain the education on that too.
Yeah, how you can scale, systemise the business, be tax efficient.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So you're going to look to retain some of the units, sell some of them. What's the expected GDV, gross development value, on the deal?
2.5 million on that one.
It should be, yeah.
Great.
And
so
that's
conservative. Being conservative, yeah. Great. So 2.5 minus your purchase price, minus your legals, minus development funding, minus any interest out to people. You're going to be, you reckon, around 800k. Yeah. So let's say that landed in your bank tomorrow, and I still know there's a journey to go through. What is this 800k? What impact could this have on where you guys are at?
Oh, massive.
It's life changing. Yeah.
I mean,
literally, it just gives us full focus. We know what we're doing. We feel confident we're doing. Get the first one over the line, and then it's just just keeping that pipeline going.
Means we could stop the day job.
Is that one of the goals? Yeah. So that's the goal. Sack the bosses or reduce yourself out of your day-to-day business and be full-time in property.
Yeah. That's it.
Wow.
I always said I wanted to retire at 50, and now 51, so I'm a year late, but I want to do it this year.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason why not, right? These next 6 or 12 months could be absolutely incredible. It's been amazing watching your journey, and of course, having you part of the Assets for Life family. And how would you summarise Mark and Nigel in just a few words?
I think you get the best of everything, because you've got Nigel that's great at his figures and analysing deals, and it just gives you the confidence that is, you've got all the data there. He knows it. I tell you, it's great. And then you got Mark with his, well, they both got experience. I mean, I mean, their years' experience between them is just
Their
invaluable.
knowledge and their exposure.
Yeah, we can
second to
ask
none.
them anything, and they've got an answer for everything,
Brilliant.
and that
Yeah.
gives you the
And they're
confidence.
nice guys, and they're great to work with.
Yeah.
And they definitely make, really help Assets for Life what it is today.
They're
So,
professional.
Yeah.
They're just so you just warm to them because they are so professional but likeable. It's very difficult to summarise them because there's so much.
And I know we're going to be due at some point soon to get on site. We're going to bring the camera crew down.
Yes.
We're going to
Yeah,
go
we're
do a
excited about that.
whole little mini series on the development.
Yeah.
It'll be great to actually see this one through, all the way through.
Yeah.
See how it goes. So we'll make sure we get some dates in the diary to do that.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Just as we wrap up, anyone tuning into this now, they're in a job, they're in a business, they do well for themselves, but they've just got this like feeling in their belly that they know they're destined for more, but maybe they've got a block, barrier or challenge. What would you like to say to them?
Don't leave that feeling there.
Yeah.
If you've got that feeling, then you know that you can do better. So just go out there and do it. Trust your gut, and if the Assets for Life give you that experience, that knowledge that you can do it. You can do whatever you want.
Brilliant, great.
Our first coach in February said, trust the process. And if somebody tells you the process works, in this sort of environment, the process works. So, like you say, trust your gut, trust the process, and just follow your dream, really, because if we can do it, oh my word, anybody can do it.
I mean,
but it's not easy, so
No.
don't think it's an overnight cash in the bank immediately. It's the hard work, but just stop procrastinating and just crack on.
Because like you say, one deal for most people, even high 6-7 figure earners, people with a few million quid kicking around, hey, 800 grand is 800 grand. And we're not saying they're all 800 grands, but even if it was 200 grand or 300 grand,
Exactly.
we're not doing 70 flats here, it's 7 flats. You're going to be in and out the deal probably relatively quickly, and that's going to be an absolute game changer. So look, a massive congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. We will definitely be doing this
Thank
again for
you.
sure. Yeah. Well, look, there you have it. In less than 5 months, secured their first commercial conversion. They're going through the ups, they're going through the downs, but they're showing up, they're doing the work, and they've made a commitment that they're going to do this no matter what. What's your commitment? Could you do this? If the answer is yes, come and check us out, get to one of our free events, and who knows, you could be sitting here in the studio inspiring and motivating other people just like you to become financially independent. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.